Hello and welcome everybody to our little ESSE demonstration this morning. Really happy to be here and excited. Yay!
They all look super happy and excited to be here too. They're like, yay!
Yay!
I love morning enthusiasm. I'm so excited.
And the streamers in Europe, for them it's afternoon.
Me personally or her?
Okay, well, I think also it's...
There's a little chatterboxes they're excited to be up this morning, but they're not excited to be watching us.
Exactly. Hey guys, if you're in the room and you want to talk, can you go outside, please? It's just harder.
So if you're in the room and want to talk, leave the room.
Exactly. Thank you. That made sense.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool. So, what is ESSE? Don't look at me.
I was waiting on you. I thought it was going to be profound.
So ESSE basically is an energy that I started sort of having when I started working on Gary and Dane with the tools of Access Consciousness.
You were having an energy when you were working on Gary and Dane?
I was having an energy, you know. And basically I started working on them probably about 10 years ago. And before that, when I started with Access Consciousness, I just did all the body processes all the time. I was a bit of a bodywork junkie. I was exchanging the processes all the time, and really, truly, the interesting thing for me, when I first started out, like many of you here are brand new, this is maybe your first like class after bars, and I used to be very sick as a child all the time, and when I started with Access and I ran the body processes, after each class I would get sick. But then it just started to change. And now I haven't really been sick in a long time. And I used to be sick literally every 3 months. I would have a cold or something was up. And it's not there anymore. So I just wanted to encourage you guys to please do as many body processes as you can. Run bars. There is so much that gets contributed to the body. We're running clearings here all the time with Gary and Dane and in the class. And your brain works a lot, and you need to also give your body a chance to really catch up with what's going on as well. So please don't underestimate that. Your body really requires that assistance too, because we're asking you to step into a new possibility, into a different reality, and your body needs to come along for the ride. Because this is the only modality that doesn't really say, oh, your body is crap, we want to just, you know, go into the etherical realms and be like wonderful. Here in Access Consciousness, we're actually looking at having embodiment. So we're not trying to diss the body or ditch the body.
We're having a embodiment?
We're having embodiment. So
it makes your breath fresher?
Yeah.
Embodiment?
It can.
Oh, okay.
It can make other things fresher too.
There you go.
If you have to go there, Andrew, let's go there.
I wasn't going there, but okay.
These guys are really asleep. I hope you guys online are laughing, because you may be awake, and in Europe, everybody here is like, good morning, America. Hello.
But so ESSE stands for Energetic Synthesis of Structural Embodiment. You know, that makes it a lot clearer. But what Suzy was talking about with embodiment, and that in embodiment, like in kind of Access terms, or as defined by Access, it's not just about having a body. It's when you embody this whole reality. So you get all the energy, all the points of views, everything that goes on with this reality. So when we talk about in the ESSE classes, what we realized is we thought it was just about changing bodies and working on bodies and changing the structure of bodies. But what we noticed is the structure of people's entire lives change. They come to the class, they get their body worked on, and then all of a sudden they're like, everyone's treating me different. Or my entire life is different. These people that used to be mean to me aren't mean to me all of a sudden. They're like, what did we do in this class? I was like, I don't know. What did you do in the class? Because a lot of what we talk about too, with Suzy saying the body has to come along, is every fixed point of view you take, it locks into the body. So every fixed point of view you have, it's been locked into your body. Somewhere, somehow. And that's why we talk about the body is a great facilitator, because the body can like the pains, the aches you have, all this stuff is actually your body giving you awareness about the points of views you're creating, or about the energy you're choosing, not just with your body, but in your entire life. And with ESSE, we can change it. So, yay!
Yay! So, shall we have somebody as a
We
victim?
shall.
All right, let's have a victim.
I like how they're all like, me, please.
Now they're awake.
Please
Look at
kill
them.
everyone quickly,
They're awake.
so it's just me. Cassandra, can we use you?
Awesome.
Victim number 1.
Victim number 1.
Probably only victim. Where is it?
So, oh, you're getting a mic. Andrew is leaving me. No, why don't you sit for a second? So, tell us what's up. Is there something up for you? Here, let me, oh, thank you. Here, is there something up in your body that you would like to change?
Well,
Is there something down in your body that you'd like to change?
I'm currently fighting a cold.
Okay, what else?
Closer to your mouth. There you go.
And been having, since being here, been having kind of a bit of a headache. Not like hard headache, but just kind of like my brain just feels foggy. And like
That might just be bars.
Yes.
Bars ache.
I don't know. Otherwise, I feel pretty good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So how about fighting that cold? Do you want to keep fighting it, or?
No.
Okay, cool. So what else is possible with that? All right, cool. Everything that is and everything it makes a fight. Yeah, how many of you are fighting disease? Are you fighting? Everything that is, will you just join on creative, please?
Brain run, good, bad, pump, pog, all things, first, boys, meals.
Okay, cool. So maybe we'll have you just lay on your back.
Yes. What'd you do here?
I put an axe in my knee.
You put an axe in your knee? All right. Nice.
So the interesting thing about ESSE for me has been that I wasn't really ever able to explain that energy until Gary and Dane started talking about engaging with the elementals. And that was the first time that it started to really go, oh, we're actually asking to engage with the molecules of the body. We're asking to create a connection between the molecules of the person's body and the molecules of our bodies. And then with that, we are sort of asking for something different. And so ESSE is an energy that also starts to really move things around in the body physically. So the difference between ESSE and running like a body process is that you are adding some movement, some physical movement to the energy that you're using, which is called ESSE. So even though the movement might be very minute, there is a movement there. So, and it's not better or worse than running a body process, it's just different. So we're not saying, oh, one is greater, it's just really different. And you're really just engaging the molecules in a different way than if you were to run a body process. And so in a way, it's like touching the body and letting the body guide you into whatever movement it might be that it's asking for. And it's a really on a molecular level often, and sometimes it can be that you can see it, like bodies may start to literally move, but sometimes, or most of the time, it's just a very subtle movement.
It's very boring, like I say, to watch. They're like, what's going on? I don't see anything. There's no flipping. But also what we talk about is, like, you can have, you know, what we were talking about last night, was it? Or during the day, about just expanding things out and being more space and being more space and being more space. Well, like, they talk about your, you know, science says, like, your body is 99.9% space. It just looks solid and real because the way we appear it in our points of views and stuff. Or the walls are 99.9% space. Like, the molecular structure is actually more space than solidity. So it's like, with ESSE, it's like you can add space to the body, or you can create more space for the body, or more space between the molecules. So we're inflating her right now.
And you know, Andrew was saying earlier, when you have a point of view, any point of view, it starts to create a solidity in your body. Literally every point of view that you take creates a solidity in your body. So what we're asking for now is to create space between the molecules, which then will change where you have solidified a point of view. So things may come up in a class that you didn't even recall, or whatever, that you have taken a point of view about, and it starts to dissipate just actually through the body having more space. Also, you know, how many points of views do you have about your body, even? Everything that is times a gazillion. Will you destroy it on creative, please?
Right, wrong, good, bad, pun, pock, all 9 shorts. I like their faces. They're like, what's a body? I have a body? Well, and it's like, since we're talking about sickness, you know, how many fixed points of views are you using to create the sickness you are choosing?
Everything that is times a gazillion. Will you destroy it on creative, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds.
So what happened? How did you axe your knee?
Missed.
You missed?
You missed the wood,
I
and
missed the wood.
What, were you trying to get your foot?
No, I was kneeling. This big thing. I skied the length of Vermont, and this happened on the trip.
So you were trying to do firewood.
Yep, chopping firewood at night after skiing 17 kilometers.
Okay, so skiing 17 kilometers,
Yeah.
chopping wood,
Yeah,
and you missed.
missing the wood.
I missed the wood. Or the wood kind of disappeared, so
Instead of axing the wood, you axed your knee.
yes.
That's pretty.
Did you say pretty girly?
Burly.
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 Oh.
I've never met anybody who's axed themselves before. It's awesome.
She was like, I'm so over myself. I'm axing myself. You're welcome, translators. I hope you like translating me this morning.
Am I pulling your hair, or are you okay?
I have a joke for you guys, too. Do you want my joke, too? Yes? Well, Joelle, are you translating? It looks like, then it doesn't matter. She's shaking her head back there, no, but I'm like, you're not the one translating. So a man walked up to me and said, your clothes are so gay. And I said, I know, they just came out of the closet this morning. Look at that, real laughter, it worked.
Things are changing, Ed.
We should just axe all of them, too. But the other thing we talk about is, you know, like that Gary was talking about demolecular manifestation, molecular demanifestation yesterday, and actually asking the molecular structures of things to change. And I don't know how many of you guys, there's like the water studies by Dr. Embodo, and there's a bunch of other studies that show that when certain energies are projected or thought at, you know, objects, atoms, you know, plants, whatever, it actually changes the way the molecular structure of the things are seen. So when you project anger at something, it changes the molecular structure. When you do sadness, it changes to a different molecular structure. So all the energy you're actually being can change the molecular structure. But I like it because you can change the molecular structure of water, but your body's like 70% water. So do you think all those, you know, nice things you're thinking about change the molecular structure of your body at all?
Everything that is times
Yeah.
a gazillion.
They're like, oh,
Try not
fuck.
creative, please.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds.
So how much are you projecting at your body in terms of age? Everything that is, will you just try not creative, please?
Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. If you can grab a mic, you can, there's like 2 up here. There's some. I like how we have like 17 billion different mics and they can't find one.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. Can you talk about acoustical molecular structure, and is that what we're trying to establish?
So, yeah. So what, I don't think they talked about it in this class, but I've been out a lot. As an infinite being, you don't have like, you know, as a humanoid too, it's not, you don't have a linear way of functioning. It's more acoustical, and what do we mean? It's more wavelength. It's not like a particular kind of thing. It's a wave. But what else we talk about is you have a spherical awareness. So it's not just circular, it's actually a sphere. You know, you can go 360, 360, 360, 360, 360, 360, or 180, 180, 180. Like you can just go around and you can keep getting more and more awareness, and it keeps expanding out in a spherical way. But a lot of what they talk about, and the cells actually have, when they're functioning properly, the cells have a spherical structure. But as judgment comes along, it starts to ellipsize that. So, or just changes the conformation, so it flattens it. It becomes more linear. And that's the same thing with like that acoustical wave, because when we talk about it, it has the acoustical wave doesn't have a judgment attached to it. But as you start doing more fixed points of views, and more judgments, and more projections, and more expectations, you start diminishing that into like kind of a linear way of functioning, or one particular thing. Because, you know, like the other thing about an acoustical wave is like, just within the spectrum of light, we talk about there's actually a ton of different wavelengths, but that's what the acoustical wave is too. It's actually, there's infinite possibilities in that acoustical wave. It's not just red. But as we do judgments and as we do things, we actually change like what we're able to receive based on those points of views. Like, no, red's the only thing my body wants. But is that actually true? Like, how many different energies could your body be receiving if you didn't have so many judgments?
And the other thing is too, like a lot of times from this reality, we function from the idea that we have to fix something. And you know, this is the body in disease, and this is the correct body. In ESSE, we never look at what is the right body. We're always looking at what else is possible and what would the body like to create. Because every body is different, and every body has its own way of functioning. And so if I have the idea of what needs to be fixed, then that's my fixed point of view about what is right for this body, which is not correct for this body. And so in ESSE, that's why the energy of this body leads the way of what we are doing, not my point of view, not the idea that I have to fix or change something, but really more, what possibilities can I facilitate here that this body is guiding? Because this body knows. I don't know what this body knows.
And most of the way we're taught to be with our body is like you find what's wrong with it, fixed point of view, and then you fix it by finding a new fixed point of view that's better than your old fixed point of view. So how many of you guys are looking for a new fixed point of view that's better than your old fixed point of view so your body can finally be fixed in the way you want it to be fixed? Everything that is times the Godzilla we destroy and uncreate it.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
I have a lot of clients that have Lyme disease, and I'm wondering, what is the underlying fixed point of view, and how can I help them?
So when we talk about, you know, being a question in access, or asking a question, and it's always about the energy. So what if with each client there's a different energy that's actually creating the disease? Because what we're kind of taught, what we're taught in this reality is, oh, well, Lyme disease is caused by ticks and blah, 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 virus, parasite, but there could be a different energy that is the creation of each person's disease. So you want to get to the point of creation for that particular person. So if you say, oh, a lot of what people do, I see when they come to Access, is they're like, okay, well, this process worked for this person in this area, so it's going to have to work for this person too. What question is that? It's not a question. That's just another conclusion. So you want to ask, okay, so what are the fixed points of views creating this? And just pop and pod that while you're working on that. And you can do this all in your head. Because that's how I started when I was in chiropractic school. I was learning Access tools while I was starting to work on bodies in chiropractic school. And I heard Gary say, oh, well, it's the energy that changes it. So you can just ask your body to be whatever energy will change it while you're working on the person. I was like, okay, that's easy. So I just put my hands on the person. I'd be trying to get like muscle tightness and all this stuff out with what they taught me in school. And I'd be like, okay, buddy, what energy can we be in that changes? And I'd go right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, beyonds. And all of a sudden, it would start to melt or it'd start to move. And the person would like look up, back up. And they're like, what did you do? I was like, nothing. Just, this nice chiropractic technique that I've been taught. It's new, it's cool. But the amount of times that it would just just kind of evaporate or just go away, I was like, whoa, this is really cool. And it was way easier. Like everyone else was super tired at the clinic. They're like, oh, I had to do all this stuff. It was really hard work. And I was like, oh yeah, super hard. I'm so tired. I'm gonna sleep for days. But that's the other, that's one of the other points of views a lot is like it takes a lot of work to change your body. But what part of all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory is that.
Everything that brought up times a gazillion. We just trying on creatively.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pun, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. I don't, just let them sit there,
So I'm not sure what time it is, but
we have 9 minutes till
9
9:30.
minutes. Okay, cool.
Trying to get it back in my.
Horses.
Oh yes, we do give courses.
Yes,
Good
the
question.
Horses. Yay.
She was saying courses, not horses.
Oh, courses.
But you heard horses.
I heard horses.
Yes.
I like horses better than courses.
So yes, we do get. No, we're just doing this demo to let you guys all know about how we're special.
There's neither courses nor horses in this.
Yes, so there's a couple different ESSE courses. There's what we call ESSE for bodies, which are for people bodies, and then there's ESSE for horses, where we work on the horses more specifically. And they're each 2.5-day classes, the ESSE for bodies or the ESSE for horses, and there's no prereqs, so you can attend. Obviously, if you're here, you can all attend, but if you wanted to bring friends that might like it, you can do that as well. And it's, in the 2.5-day course, we kind of just play with bodies, whether they're horse bodies or people bodies the whole time. And just get you guys as much hands-on kind of experience of the energy. Because it's so different when, we can talk about it, but then you put your hands on someone, or someone puts their hands on you, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, that was cool. I get it now. Because it's like, the other thing we talk about is, with bodies, it's about the energy. And when we have all these points of views, we're not able to receive the energy as much. But then all of a sudden your barriers come down, or your walls come down, and all of a sudden you receive a different energy, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, and so next week, starting on the 14th, we're going to have an ESSE Extravaganza, which is combining the people and horse class to a 4-day class. So you get to touch horses and people bodies in 4 days and get to play. So it's really phenomenal to me always what gets created. We're so excited to have it at Gary and Dane's ranch and play with the Frisians there. So it's not very far from here. It's about an hour from here. And it's been really phenomenal to work with the horses in particular also on that ranch. And the fun thing also with these classes is that the people that are coming do not have to have any body work experience either.
Or horse experience.
Or horse experience. And we've literally had people work on each other and create things that the person who was receiving was like, I don't know how this occurred. I've had pain here for the last 15 years and now it's gone. And so it's not about, oh, the experts, no, you are all experts when it comes to bodies. And when you are following the energy and you are touching bodies with an energy, you all are the experts in that way, because bodies will talk to each other regardless. We're just kind of giving you a bit more guidance on how to access that with more ease.
And if I may interrupt, that class we took after the Global Foundation last year, my kids and I, and it has been incredibly, immensely life-changing and still unwinding things in all of our universes. Cool. And it's been a huge gift.
Thank you. Thank
And you got a horse, didn't you?
Yes, we have a horse.
So
And her
don't
name
come to
is
an ESSE
She's-
extravaganza
do
class
not,
if you're wanting
do
a
not.
horse, but you're not allowing yourself to have a horse, because we have a high success rate of horse matching.
adoptees,
Horse
yes.
matching.
We're like Match.com for horses.
And zero experience. I mean, like you were saying, there was zero experience with horses, and yet such an immense amount of receiving from them. Thank you.
Alright.
Did you have anything more that you wanted? Did you want anything else?
Yeah, is it sometimes easier to learn the process with horses? Are they more clear in their...
It really depends on the person. I've seen some people that, like, it's funny, they thought that they wanted to just do the body part, but all we had was the ESSE horse coming up, so they're like, I'll just take it, because I need to be there. And then they were like, oh, I'm so glad I took it with horses. And it was funny, because I wasn't a horse person when I started. Like, I had body work experience, but no real horse thing. I'm like, oh, I'll just figure it out, bodies, you touch them. But the horses, the first ESSE extravaganza class, I watched someone come up to a horse with this energy where it was like, I wouldn't want to be touched by this person. Like, the energy they had already decided what they were going to work on. They had, like, dissected this horse and it was like, this is the spot that's going to change everything from my total fixed point of view of a question. And the horse just looked at the person and walked off. And I went, you can do that? Like, someone's gonna say they're gonna work on you and touch your body and it's gonna be helpful when it's not gonna be helpful at all, and you can just, later, bitch. Because that's what the horse did. He went, and I was just like, I had to sit down. I had the amount of stuff that I just get, and the horses actually received, like, that was the other thing, the feedback I got about my body work. It's like, you work on someone and they're like, how's it going? And they're like,
Good.
she's not bad, but I'm just, sometimes they don't always give you feedback, but the horses, because they communicate energetically, it's like, you put your hands on a horse and all of a sudden the horse throws their entire body weight into you and you're like, whoa, what's going on? And the horse is like, energetically, it's like, push harder, you dummy, that's the spot I want you working on. And it's like, and you're like, okay, and the horse looks back at you and you're like, do it now. I'm like, okay, I see who's in charge here. So it's really such a gift as a body worker, because you don't always get the best kind of feedback when you work on people bodies. But the horses, it's like what they're willing to gift and contribute, and what they're willing to change. I mean, Suzy had Suzy, great documentarian that she is, had a horse that had a tumor when she was in an ESSE extravaganza class in Malaysia. And the body just moved the tumor out, and it just fell out. She's got lots of pictures of this.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm a little upset. Miracles don't get pictures. But it's like, we've had horses that their entire, like, we've had horses where they're like, they don't look like the same horse. Mm-hmm. They just, like, from day 1 to day 2, they're different. They're like, the amount of times me or Suzy have been like, hey, did we work on that horse yesterday? And Suzy's like, oh yeah, we got to wrap it up, sorry.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's lots of fun stuff in ESSE extravaganza.
Okay.
Are you both?
Upcoming classes a little bit.
SEHorseandbody.com.
Vancouver.
There's one in Vancouver Suzy's doing. There's one in Paris that me and Suzy are doing. There's an ESSE Essence class, which is a 4-day class that you need to have taken an ESSE Bodies, a 3-day body class and a COP to attend. And it's kind of a deep dive into everything ESSE. Denver, April 17th, 18th, something like that.
And if you guys have questions too, you can talk to Marnie about the schedule coming up. So
And
how does it get better?
Yeah, there you go. Or message me or Suzy or something.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you want to add anything?
I feel great, and I feel like you did, well, both of you, I don't know, did exactly like what, I didn't mention this, but I also have been having neck pain, and I don't feel it right now.
Awesome.
And now my nose has also stopped running, and yeah.
Cool.
I don't know.
How's
Thank
it
you
get
both.
better? Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.